Hello, Steppingstone parents. As I mentioned, thank you very much for joining. We're just adding, I can see people in the chat. I see Mariam.
Dr. Hanifa, your bandwidth is low. Your bandwidth, I can see it is slow. Your network is.
Is everybody? Are you hearing me well?
Your network is really bad.
As I mentioned earlier on, we are waiting for more people to join, but I'm already excited from in and outside Uganda, really trying to be part of the Steppingstone platform. As we solve a few issues, I would like to continue welcoming a few people. I can see it is 11:14. We are going to start at 11:20. Hario, Hajara, but as we shall mention, please make sure you provide us with your number because we would like to keep track of you, preferably the number that is on WhatsApp. We are going to do a Steppingstone feedback session where we shall reach to individuals. So please, I would like to receive your, if you are free with your email, WhatsApp number as Steppingstone, we shall be glad to reach you out. I can see more people are joining. I'm really excited. Sheila Chisembo, you are welcome. Madam Dr. Sada Chimuli, Ronald Chizito, thank you for joining. Fahim, Sechito, and Siraj. Hasfa, you've all joined in. Thank you very much. And Diana Mira, I've already mentioned. Right now, we have 32 people. I just want that we hit 40. But whatever the case, the moment we at 11:20, we shall be ready to start. Otherwise, for now, if you have any questions concerning sexual abuse, you can meanwhile post it on the chat and my assistant will be able to forward that to me. Anything, because we are having an open discussion as parents, as guardians, as stakeholders. I mean, you don't have to be a parent, but remember, you are a stakeholder. You have your sisters, you have your brothers, you have people you interact with. So everybody is an important stakeholder in this fight. And Mr. Basef, I'm glad you have joined in. Thank you very much. And as I keep saying, that you are all important stakeholders. Gone are the days when doctors would just wait for people to, to get sick. Now we are here trying to, to pass over whatever the information is required. Otherwise, if we are, so we have only 3 minutes so that I start the formal presentation. But otherwise, I continue to welcome everybody in your own capacity. Feel free in the chat to let us know if you have any question concerning sexuality and reproduction. in adolescents and young people. So in the next 3 minutes, we should be good to go to start. Thank you very much. Dear parents, welcome to the Steppingstone platform. We have 1 minute to start our official presentation. But meanwhile, please continue sending questions and any recommendation concerning sexuality and reproductive health. I see several people sending questions on my personal number. You could also send in the chat room. And as I mentioned, I would like to have your numbers and emails so that we shall continue with the private talks. I appreciate some members may have, please 772-750-708. Otherwise, we are good to go now. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to inform you that we are officially starting right now. This is the Steppingstone platform. Before you is your own Dr. Hanifa Naamala Sengendo, and we are here to discuss one of the important topics one of the important things that are actually happening in amidst us. Our presentation will follow, I will introduce myself better. I will give a preamble about this presentation, but also provide some information about general issues of sexual abuse, sexual harassment. You are yet to know what the differences are. And we shall coin our presentation with a testimonial of one of our children, our sister, who was actually sexually abused. I am Dr. Naamala Hanifa Sengendo. I am a pediatrician and public health specialist. And by the way, as I present now, it's not really so much about my being a pediatrician, but my purpose. My purpose is to present to you as an expert parent, as a champion parent, championing the health of adolescents and young people. These are boys and girls that are in the reproductive age, the age between 9 to 19 years, below 20 is what we call the young people, 20 to 24. And my purpose is to guide this important age group by providing knowledge. But I'm using parents as gatekeepers of health. That's why I am making sure, as part of the team, that you as the gatekeepers, you become knowledgeable. We have to get our heads out of the sand. You know, we have to start talking. We all know that this vulnerable age, by the way, they don't get sick so often. And the way we were trained, the only time you would see a doctor, your girl or boy is sick. And remember, when the child is sick, psychologically is affected, is fearing what is going to happen, is actually sick, is not healthy. So I, with other people, thought that as a stepping stone, we should start thinking about using health as a stepping stone to career guidance, as a stepping stone to career achievement. What do I mean? That if we parents are knowledgeable, we should be able to pass over that information to our children, to our, the people whom we care about, okay? So using health as a stepping stone requires me, you, to be knowledgeable. That's why I come out to talk to you. That's why I have planned other activities to talk to the teens before they get sick, to talk to them when they are healthy, but when we are focusing on health as a stepping stone. I remember one time we had a session and we were asking the adolescents that, what do you call career achievement? They mentioned all different things, what they meant by achievement. And they actually indicated that they know when they study, they will be well off, they will achieve whatever they want. But to bring the concept of stepping stone is that we need these children to be healthy, and then we use it as a stepping stone to career achievement. And we know that being healthy means that your body, mentally, it's not just when you don't have a fever or a headache. Healthy means that you are actually fit in all ways. By the way, before I go further, we know that today is 7th March. It's a pre-Women's Day webinar that we are attending right now. So the ladies that are here, happy Women's Day. We thank the Almighty God for keeping us alive to be part of the people to celebrate the Women's Day. Usually we celebrate by, staying at home, we sleep, but this time the Stepping Stone platform decided to celebrate by you becoming more knowledgeable. The theme for this year is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. So we shall not be women in leadership if we are not healthy. Remember, you first be a girl and then you translate to be a woman. So dear women here, happy Women's Day. And for the men, please wish us a happy Women's Day. As I begin my presentation, talking about sexuality and reproductive health, I should mention that as one of the proprietors of schools, what made me think that we need to engage this important group before they just find us in hospitals is when I held a Steppingstone camp in 2019, which was attended by over 150 students. We had a lot of discussion. I really felt guilt. I'm like, all the knowledge I have, I'm just waiting to treat malaria. I'm just waiting to treat a pneumonia. So I said, no, we cannot continue like this. We have to provide all the necessary knowledge, and we provide it to key stakeholders. Those are our teens and those are us parents. At Steppingstone, we believe that, if we provide this healthy knowledge, it will actually be a stepping stone. And our slogan is My Health, a Stepping Stone to Career Achievement. So we all know that when COVID struck us, we lived in a new normal. Schools were closed very urgently. And it is the first time that we parents, because I'm also a parent, we parents had an opportunity to stay with our children the most time. Remember when there was actually lockdown, it meant that both of you or you with 3 other people were in the same homestead 24/7. And during the lockdown for different countries, because I appreciate we have people who are not in Uganda. And when there was lockdown, of course, even other services, for example, health services, the police, all those ones got some hiccups. That means, because remember our topic, we are discussing about sexual abuse. You imagine a child who was abused, where was he supposed to go? There was lockdown. Was that child, the child maybe would go to a health center, would go to police or report to any opinion leader, but there was lockdown. Was this girl or boy supposed to keep on telling the different roadblocks that, you know what, I was raped, I was harassed? No. So that means we are envisioning that during this COVID and the post-COVID era, there is a lot of sexual issues that have arisen. Already in Uganda, we have seen reports through different forums like Sauti, like the police reports that have shown that generally gender-based violence increased. But when that increased, what happened to our children? We saw cases where the mother left the children at home, and whatever happened, we are actually is part of what we are going to discuss. Okay? So it means, and remember that adolescents and young people, this is the largest group of our population, the youth, you know? And when we were growing up, our parents, of course, could not talk to us anything concerning our sexuality, concerning our reproduction. I mean, things would just happen. But I mean, we can no longer afford to do that. Remember, technology is with us. With the technology, the child will be able to, to find out everything. So what does that mean? That you as a parent, you should be on top of things. Naturally, this age group is, they look for information. They are very inquisitive. So as they look for information, who are the first contacts? Their peers. The first contact would be the parent, but remember, if the parent is not knowledgeable, is not groomed to talk, if the parent is the one who brushes away, no, don't talk to me about those things. You'll wait until you go to your auntie. Then you are doomed, my dear. You are doomed because actually you will need to be able to be the first provider of information. As we discuss this important topic of sexual abuse, the Steppingstone platform conducted a rapid assessment. When schools opened, for example, for Uganda, we know that we began with candidates, S4 and S6. But I was seeing it from my own home. I was seeing it from my friends. I was seeing it from my relatives. And in our, planning, we're like, these candidates have gone back home. What has been happening to them? So we did a rapid assessment of sexual and reproductive health issues among these candidates of senior 4, senior 6. Remember that is an age that is about 16, 17, 18. And we were trying to understand what are those effects, what are those issues generally, but today I'm actually presenting the particular issues that came out as far as sexuality and reproductive health is concerned. We wanted to document, all this time when the children are at home, they are with their parents, they are using different technology. What knowledge do they have about their sexuality? And what have been the effects of, being home? I know you have conflicted, you have laughed, you have done challenges, you have danced, you have done exercises, but amidst those things, something happened. So we went to 10 different schools around Kampala and Wachiso. These were boarding schools, but actually remember that also the government had instructed that either schools were boarding or day. So we had 3-day schools, and the 7 of them were boarding schools. So in summary, we interviewed 500 children, both boys and girls. We had more girls, 320 girls. And we were using anonymous questions. And let me tell you, we didn't just go once and started asking questions. Remember, the issue of sex, sexuality, and reproductive health is very, very sensitive. So we had to have pre-visits to create rapport, working with the school administrators, working with the senior ladies, working with the school nurse, and we actually got entry to talk to these children. And it was, those who were willing, but also, of course, administrators had particular children whom they wanted us to talk to. But generally, I should say that one of the most glaring issue was that most children have put on weight. That will be a discussion for another day. But in linkage with the sexuality and reproduction and sexual abuse, what does that mean? That someone is looking at a child who is 16 years and is, looking at her as a woman, not as a girl, meaning that that child became quite vulnerable to being abused because he or she has put on weight. He's looking at this boy whose voice now has become, wider, rather deeper, and is looking at him as a man. So that was general. Of course, the physical growth, the breasts, the bums, the voices, and almost everything. And what that meant was that there was a lot of vulnerability because now they were being looked at, or they even themselves, they were looking at themselves at as not girls, but as women. So in summary, most students, 96% of students testified that actually they had wrongly used technology. Most of the children had access to smartphones, and they said during the long holiday, we used to watch age-inappropriate sites. And you know what happened? That immediately after lockdown, the schools devised the means of continuing with education. So they developed WhatsApp groups that they could continue sending work. So what did the children do? They formed their side WhatsApp groups. These were not controlled. They could post anything. They could do anything on those groups. So they used the avenue of the study WhatsApp groups to create their own groups. So we actually found that. And guess what? Among the 500 students in the 10 schools, 120 girls and 62 boys actually mentioned that they had some degree of sexual abuse, because in the form we tried to classify the different forms of abuse. Can you imagine that almost 200 of these children had had some degree of sexual abuse? The most common abuse was bad touches, which I would call romantic touches. And we actually had, dear parents, as I present, feel free to ask questions in the chat room. I can see I also have questions on my personal phone. I'll ask my assistant to keep track of those so that we shall be able to answer them. So I had mentioned that, guess what? About 200 of the children mentioned that they had some degree of sexual abuse. Don't be overwhelmed. These things happened in our homes. The children were with us. We had 50 girls who had actually had actual sexual encounters. This is a true story. And unfortunately, because of the lockdown and what the children referred to as unfriendliness of parents, most of this was not disclosed. Okay? We had 5 girls who had actually conducted abortion. Good enough, I mean, it's not good to do abortion, but good enough, they all mentioned that they had actually gone to a health unit to do the abortion. But for you as a parent, what I mean is that these things happen. They happened in our homes a year when we were with our children. So the other finding that is actually also very touching is the use of sexual objects. We actually noted from the interviews and the interaction that there is increased use of sexual objects in this age group who are in school. Actually, they mentioned how they hide these objects. They even mentioned it to us that there are shops in town that sell these objects as low as 30,000. I think depending on quality or whatever. I'm not very, I haven't really looked at some of the results. So these were some of the major findings that are leading to our presentation. Most of the perpetrators were family members. Catch what? We had fathers. It's a true story. We have a whole narration of a father and what he did to his own stepfathers and also uncles. But most of them, it was friends. The only thing I noted was now the friends were 2 categories. There are those ones that they study with, like the peers in school and all that, but also the so-called friends in the neighborhood. Because at one time, remember, that I mean, when every people would go to the neighborhoods and some of these things happened. They are watching different soaps, they are watching different sites, and these things happen, you know. So that is it. From you parents, what are you feeling? This is a true story. And these are compared the parents to, you know, to be more protected. What is happening outside a more controlled environment, like we are. So in our discussion, I would like to tell parents that it's actually imperative. It is must for us to talk to our children more now than ever before. We can no longer afford to wait for the time when children are getting married or, you know, other times. I mean, that time is now. We should be knowledgeable than ever before so that we can be able to talk to our children. I see one of the questions that is coming very frequently is that, but doctor, when should we start talking about these things? As early as now. Research has shown that from the age of 3, you can start talking about issues of sexuality, but it has to be age appropriate. For example, someone is asking, doctor, you've talked about touches and whatever. Yes, we are going to discuss the bad and good touches, but at the age of 3 years, the child already knows, because as part of development, children have different stages. They have the oral stage, they have the stage when they want to touch everything. And amongst the places that they touch is their private parts. So the onus is on you to actually guide the children and start talking that, you know, you shouldn't be open. This is private. You can use a doll, you know, they have babies at home, they have dolls. You can tell them this part is private. No one should touch, no one should see it. You shouldn't come open in the sitting room. You shouldn't, you know, with on the veranda. But those days are really gone. So we had better talked. What age is appropriate to discuss? I would say as early as 3 years, because the 3-year-old is actually understanding. But you can also guide. Can you discuss in the chat room? What is your comment? I'm sure you are going to say, oh, 3 years, what do I say? I'm talking about age appropriate. And that is actually one of the major strengths of Steppingstone platform. We offer age appropriate information. And as I pause, I'm asking parents, it is not harassment. That, and you know what? For a girl and a boy, right from the whole of your body is private. I mean, we should teach our children that all our body is private. The body that gets covered is private. The body that gets covered is really private. I mean, the breasts, the stomach, the knuckle, the umbilical cord, the actual private parts, the thighs, you should just tell them plainly that all your body is private. And especially for the girls, we tell them your body is actually more private, probably, than for the boys or for the males. So, dear parents, start now. Okay, I can see people. Okay, so what are the bad and good touches? I mean, we cannot say every touch is bad. If someone shakes hands, but anyway, these days with COVID, it has also helped us. We no longer shake hands. Shaking hands wouldn't be bad. A hug from mommy or daddy, okay? remember when I talked about the most common victims, they are the children. We found out, which is not actually different from other literature, that the most perpetrators were the people who were living with the children. Remember, they were most of the time with these people. So the most important, the people that actually assaulted and abused our children, the ones we interviewed, which is same to literature, are the ones that they lived with. So a hug to an uncle, I mean, these things are happening. You might find some of the culture is gonna change, my dear parents. I mean, a continuous hug to an uncle, to a stepfather, to a brother that is so intimate is no longer required, because from that you never know what is happening. It might be a brother. We saw brothers their brothers, and they're comfortable. That is a bad touch, meaning that if I touch your hand and I scratch in it, of course the child will jump, so it is a bit uncomfortable. So that is a bad touch. If someone touches the child's breast and the child, squeezes in, or if the child, beats on the, someone beats on the palms, or if someone says, you, that is that, because remember, sexual abuse is not just the physical touch, but also it is the saying, what you talk, what you do, even if it is not using the human body, if it's a sexual object, if it is a talk, that all is part of sexual abuse, sexual harassment. We just think of rape, but these are different forms of sexual. I mean, it is from that the child enters into other things. You are going to listen to our testimony that daughters and who are sexually abused as early as, from senior one. Of course, the most symptoms, you can see the physical signs like bruising, redness. And remember, this is for both boys and girls. Feel free to join our WhatsApp group number, to the chat room. So our WhatsApp number for the Steppingstone, 750708. I just forgot to mention to you one thing. Shocked me, but it's amazing. We heard that it is the girl Dear parents, sorry for that interruption. It was my internet just blacked out, but I'm good to go. I was just mentioning, dear parents, that we have those letters. It means that whatever the children were doing in holiday, the girls themselves were messages. So what does that mean? That, you know, the boys are also equally vulnerable. You see, at Steppingstone, we don't think that it's only the girls that are vulnerable. Also, the boys are equally vulnerable, because this is a true story. We saw the cheats, and the child would have a cheat in the book, would always open that, and you know, behind the book, they have written so and so. I need to see you because I know first, all those things, you know. You remember Victoria Rice, you know, that, so we have a problem. Informing you about the science. God will not tell you if you are not knowledgeable, if you don't even know what to do. We have toll-free lines. In Uganda, we have 116, the South line. We should be able to tell our children that if anything happens to you, if anyone abuses you, even if you are not at home, the children have phones now that they are using to study. Tell them to dial 116. Tell them to dial some emergency number. You know what? Sometimes we are in meetings, and as we are there, we cannot pick phones. Let them have alternative phones which they can call, because these things are really happening. Apart from the physical signs that can be seen, my dear parents, we have the major issue of mental effects, okay? Mental effect, the issues, the effects on the child's head, I would say, because I'm trying to be as low as possible. The moment the child starts things of, the child is abused, just a mere touch, like I mentioned about the body touch, just a mere touch, that child gets a patch on the brain, gets a disease, gets as if something has, you know, stained, I would say gets a stain, that actually something is wrong. What happens? Parents, please join our WhatsApp group on 772-750-708. I said we shall have personalized feedback, so please join that WhatsApp group. The children, they mentioned themselves that the moment I entered into these things, the self-esteem, the child feels, you know, I'm no longer the one. So sometimes they tend to get withdrawal tendencies, you know. They feel like, you know, they are not themselves. You find a child is walking and it's not free, it's walking in a funny way, you know, wants to dress and is, you know, putting on different things. It's no longer free because the esteem has gotten lost. She's no longer feeling herself because someone had a bad touch. And this is beginning as early as I mentioned, okay? So the mental effects are even more sad than the mental effects are even more disturbing than the physical ones. They tend to get fear, they may get nightmares. So as they're at home, a child gets all these things, they might get feeling like very useless, but they may start getting more useless. Islands who are sending in questions, we shall answer some questions as I presenting, but I, And have parents put, you are very beautiful, their eyes. Has anyone told their child? If not, someone else is telling them. And now they treasure that person. And when that person has, raised the esteem of saying you are the most beautiful, then that person will touch your child anyhow. Okay? So my call to action is that one of them, parents, can you join such platforms like the Stepping platform? So that we tell you, I said, I'm not in hospital, I'm ready to teach, and we are using the school-based approach. The students are in school. That's where they spend most of their time. By the time they come back home, they have already mixed with their peers. The students say when they go back to the dormitory, they discuss because they think the peers have the most important information. So as they go back to the dormitory, they discuss. So can we actually be knowledgeable? That's the first call to action. Steppingstone, everybody on here, please be a Steppingstone platform as a gatekeeper of health. I said we are using health as a stepping stone to career achievement. When that disease of love and abuse, whatever the form, enters the child's brain, it will actually affect the career. Someone is asking, you've not talked about rape. Rape, I said, is like the intense, the strongest form of child abuse, because that would involve probably penetrative intercourse. But I said the children may not initially go there. They start with these so-called simple things. By the way, I should have also mentioned that the administrators of all the 10 schools that I visited, they said there was increased coupling in the schools. Coupling. There was increased coupling. The DC, their disciplinary committees were meeting these children, more than ever before, because of coupling, because of unhealthy relationship. So we were with our children. It means there is a gap. There is a big gap for us parents. We blame the schools, we blame who, but now the children were with us. And these things happened when they were with us. So I would like to have a call to action for you to join such. I mean, there are many others. For us, we just believe that my health is a stepping stone. That's what we teach our children. When you are healthy, you will do all your maths. You will do all the medicine that you want. You will do all the law and everything. Dear parents, for us, we believe at Steppingstone that sex education only fosters healthy beliefs and anomalies. It does not actually let the child start whatever you are telling them. You are just in the right place, having right information to provide to your child. I tried to ask the different administrators in the schools whether on their timetable they had time to talk to children about these issues, about the COVID effects. Now it was poo. You have to finish the syllabus. You have to finish the syllabus. And that is, well, that is the environment, but I should say it is a bit unfortunate. This is the time when Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education should come up to say that we need time on the timetable where people come and coach, mentor, and educate our children about their health, but particularly discussing about sexuality and reproductive health. We need that time. That's an advocacy message. Parents, go and demand. We are here to move. I mean, as Steppingstone, we need partners. We need people to move with. Come and we work together. We need to have a structured program. Already we have a Steppingstone curriculum that offers health education of different age groups. But we need for it to make sense, we need all schools for it to be an instruction that we should have a timetable where we, the people who are knowledgeable in health, can actually talk to our children about their bodies. Because the moment the body is disorganized, even that 90 in math, will not come. So schools had better started this. So your role as a parent, can you demand? Can you demand? Okay? And I know, for example, for Uganda, there is the sexuality and reproductive health framework, but it has not been implemented. That they were fearing that the children will know these things, that it is interfering with the religion, but we are talking about providing age appropriate. The child of 3 years, what I talk to him or her is not the same as the things I talk to a 19-year-old. It's totally different. Let's be proactive. As we are packing the books, as we are looking for marks at school, please talk to your child about their bodies. Next time, as we continue engaging a stepping stone, we shall discuss an important factor of substance abuse. I tell you, why am I linking it to this? Because we have 2 cases of children who started drugs and they ended up as being rape cases. Okay? The use of drugs, that is a different topic we shall discuss. We have the results here in our, rapid assessment. So as I wind up, those are my call to action. We are going to have a testimonial from one of our sisters, our daughters, that actually faced these issues. As she comes on, and for privacy and confidentiality, we are not going to show her face, and because it interferes with her privacy and confidentiality. But I would like to use some 5 minutes to look at some of the questions that are in the chat room. We shall continue unmuting. Please put up your hand. But one of the questions, as you will get other questions. Okay.
Dr. Network,
as I mentioned, I can see.
Doctor,
Tell me what you have learned, because in school you say, why
Dr. Ndoza Network ekyankalanye muko.
Okay. What about now?
Kati eri clear omukwana. Barakallahu fikum.
Oh, sorry for that. Am I back? Sorry for that. Mumpulira.
Katukuwulira tukulaba.
Hello? Okay. Mbadde mbagamba, I think let's use both languages. That I have gifts for you. What have you learned? Because I've talked for the last 40 minutes. Dr. Sad, I see you on the platform. I see Mariam Najov, Alfred, I can see you. Diana Miro, Hario, I see you. Hajat Sarah, Jimmy, everyone. Can you please type what you have learned? I have said the call to action. The parents, you are the gatekeepers. You want me to go back with my gifts, please? I'll go back with them. But if you can get in the chat room what you have learned, as you also ask questions, telling me, person, is that Dr. Olimba, emyaka esatu nze njogere ki. Like that. Okay? I like that. Munja a 3-year-old, how come you can be able to tell a 3-year-old that use your right hand and they learn it? Okay? They learn. You said that we should, Hajat Sada is saying, is the cornerstone of Steppingstone platform. We are giving age-appropriate information. The parent who is asking about what can I say, Olimba, 3 years. 3 years mugambe bijja myaka gye. Mubulire ebijja myaka gye. Kubanga tukizudde tunagamba let me touch here nga tewamubuulira nti no this part is private, then that child will omwana ojja munenya naye ng'ate gwe otaakola mulimu gwe. That's why I'm saying that that's when please share the stepping so as requested by the parents. And someone is saying that Dr. Hanifa, why don't you give us weekly Zoom meetings? Farida, I'm waiting for your question. But someone say weekly Zoom meetings. Well, right now what I can afford, because I said we are looking for partners, come and work with us. Right now, what we do at the Steppingstone platform WhatsApp group is that we share weekly videos on different topics. We have a timetable where we share, like today we are talking about sexuality. I know next week we are discussing technology, and one of the parents is actually here, Mr. Basef. He's going to discuss to us parents the issue of technology, but we link it to health and how it can interfere or how it can promote the career of our children and us as parents. Well, I can't really do probably right now a weekly Zoom webinar meeting, but we can actually continue interacting on WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp number, which I request admin to share. So parents, other parents, what have you? I can't hear Banang, Atenga, I can see Doc. Are you sure you can't hear? Admin, please work on that. Someone is saying that, thank you, Hario. You are saying that, thank you, Dr. Hanifa and the Steppingstone family. She's telling us what she has learned. Good. I have learned that knowledge is power. And many of us have been taking it for granted. But our kids honestly need some sort of counseling to come up with effects of COVID, irrespective of the environment. This is true. You have no option as you learn your smartphone. You learn where WhatsApp is, you learn where this is, you had better learned. You are all doctors in your own houses. Just what you have to do is to get some basic health knowledge, and then you'll be at the top of things. And we are here at the Steppingstone. People continue asking questions. Your daughter asks a question, say, give me a minute, I will answer you. But also we have our WhatsApp number is a call-in. There is someone called Fatina Nachitio. Someone is helping to, I think the person who doesn't hear us did not join internet via this PC. Dear parents, can you post what you have learned? As you request for a report, I'm also requesting for a report. Someone has asked that, Dr. Hanifa, do you have a hospital where we can reach you as parents? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we have a Steppingstone Center at Chisasi, where we do counseling sessions based on the issue. So we prefer the parent to talk to us, and then we can schedule with the required counselor, because different parents have different issues. And by the way, we don't only counsel parents, we also counsel you as, we don't only counsel the children, but also you as parents, because sometimes your approach also needs to be counseled. So thank you very much for those questions. Right now, I would like my admin to prepare our host tonight to come and tell us what is happening. Dr. Hanifa, the sexuality education framework has appropriate age talking points that can guide parents to talk to their children. I know it has, but remember, it has not been implemented. It was signed. This is Ronald Chizito from Fort Portal. Is it Fort? You have met, yes, it is true, it is there, but which school is it being implemented? It is not. That is why for us as Steppingstone, we are saying that we need partners to come on board with us. We start moving in schools. Right now, we move as Steppingstone platform. We go to schools, we create Steppingstone ambassadors that we take through a training of trainers, and then these ambassadors stay in school because this is like a Steppingstone, they form Steppingstone clubs, and then they continue this education that we are talking about. But we need people to come and join us, and then we move so that we can create impact. Okay, someone is saying that I have learned the need of integrating reproductive health within the school health package, and that is it is excellent. In their body, the Steppingstone platform is here. As I read the last question, I request our visitor, to come. Just a minute, we are trying to mind the identity issue. Okay, so she's getting ready. She's going to sit right here. And because, as I mentioned earlier on, that we would like to protect her identity, she's going to be covered with a veil, and the names she will use will be anonymous. They will not be her true names. And yes, so let her first give her testimonial in a language she prefers. So my host, choyagala choba okozesa, bw'oba oyagala kozesa Luganda, bw'oba oyagala kozesa Luzungu, bw'oba oyagala kozesa mixture, byonna bikozese. Abazadde bali wano okuyiga, they are here to learn. So feel free, and we are grateful that you accepted to come. Please, parents, as she's taking her seat, join our WhatsApp group on 772-750-708. The link will also be shared in the chat room. I will now just sit on the side to give our host, to give my visitor good landing. Yeah, so, okay, so. So the host is with us in the studio. Feel free to ask questions. You can use my number but she's right with us. Yogera olulimi lwonna lw'oyagala oba Luzungu oba Luganda.
Ntwala omukisa guno ogumpeereddwa okwebaza buli omu awuliriza programu ya Steppingstone.
Nnyabo mbadde nkusaba oyongezeeko ku ddoboozi.
Ntwala omukisa guno okwebaza buli muntu yenna agoberera programu ya Steppingstone. Mwebale nnyo bye mukola kuba mukyusiza obulamu bw'abaana b'ensi eno. Ngenda kusheyaringako wamu nammwe olw'ebyo ebyantuukako. Naye nga sinnabakola ekyo ngenda kweyanjula amanya gange. Nze Tendo munzikirize nebaze founder wa Steppingstone kubanga akyusizza obulamu bwange. Waliwo ekiseera we natuuka nga mpulira neetaaga okwejja mu nsi eno. Olw'embeera eyantuukako gye njoba buulirako, weewaawo sijja kwogera buli kimu naye kyonna kye munaaba muwuliddeko. So mbasaba abazadde mwenna muwulirize era mube bakkakkamu. Ebintu bingi bizze bitutuukako mu bulamu bw'ensi eno, naye bitutuukako olw'obutamanya n'obutayambibwa eri bazadde baffe. Abazadde bangi tebafuddeeyo kumanya ngeri gye boogera n'abaana baabwe. Abazadde abasinga bakambwe. Nze njogera ku experience eyange. Bazadde bange be bazadde abakambwe abasingira ddala obukambwe nga bwe nandigambye. Kuba nze ekyantuukako tekyandibaddewo kuba nti kintuukako okusinziira ku counseling gye nfunye. Naye kyabaawo olw'okuba nga nali nga ntya okwogerako nabo.
Ongezaako ku ddoboozi nnyabo Saara.
Ebyantuukako nali sisobola kubannyonnyola kubanga lwe nagezangako okubasemberera nga tebampa mukisa. Ekyokubiri, beefuulanga bize nga bakola bakomawo kiro, baatulekeranga abakozi, twabeeranga ne barelatiivu baffe. Tulina anko gwe twabeeranga naye nga bamuyinamu essuubi lingi naye yayongera tutulugunya. Twatulugunyizibwa kuba nze experience.
Tukusaba obeere mugumu oyongereko ku ddoboozi. Kasita naffe tuli wano tusaba ogume obuulire bulungi abazadde naye yongerako ku ddoboozi. Nsuubira buli omu COVID alina engeri gy'amuyisizzaamu. Ekizibu kino kyantuukako Abazadde bagamba tebawulira.
Ekizibu kyantuukako mu biseera ebya COVID kubanga okusoma kwali tekukyagenda mu maaso nga buli kimu kiri wansi. So twabeeranga awaka ne anko waffe.
Yongeza ku ddoboozi mukwano
Nga
guma.
bwe mbagambye nti bazadde bange anko baali bamutrustinga.
Anko gwe mwabeeranga naye.
Anko waffe. Naye olw'okubanga waalingawo enkozesa y'amasimu, ebiseera ebisinga twalina eddembe ewaka. Nga tukozesa amasimu ne anko waffe yatulaganga ebifaananyi ebitateekeddwa kulaba.
Anko nga yabalaga.
Anko waffe nga tulaga ebifaananyi bye tutaalina kulaba ku myaka gyaffe, naye nga omumanyi gino emyaka gyagala nnyo okumanya era gyagala okutegeera ekigenda mu maaso. Anko teyakoma olwo, yatukolanga ebintu bingi. Naye olw'okubanga nze omwe yali big girl ewaka, anko yanseducinga. Anko wange paka lwe yandepinga. Naye nali sobola kukinnyonnyola maama wange kuba nali mutya. Kuba anko yaŋŋamba bw'onooyogera nja kutta. Tetwakoma awo, tegwali mulundi gumu. So I ended up getting pregnant. Right now, I'm a mother. Bazadde bange bwe bakitegeera nti ndi pregnant, bareactinga bubi nnyo. N'olw'okuba twalina omukisa nti balina connection ne Steppingstone doctor, baali banvuddemu nga like they were I was abandoned. So ne bamukubirako era ye yakomyawo embeera n'atuconnectinga ne bazadde bange. Wabbo baali banvuddemu, yatutuuza n'ambuulirira nze ng'omwana era ye yazuula ekizibu kyava ku ki, kubanga namunnyonnyola mu buli mbeera yonna. Bazadde bange n'abakkakkanya, banvaamu naye ekiseera kyatuuka ne bakkakkanya. So essaawa zino okusoma kwaddamu bannange basoma, ndabira ddala nga sirina future, naye Dr. wa Steppingstone, the founder, ambeereddewo nnyo kubanga yampadde essuubi nti njana kuddayo okusoma. However much I'm a mother, naye yampadde essuubi nti kisoboka kuba namubuuzizza. Bwe nadda mu ssomero lye nalimu, sirabike ng'omukadde eri bannange. Yanzizeemu n'aŋŋamba buli kimu kisoboka. So abazadde mbasaba ekintu kimu, mufeeyo nnyo okwogerako n'abaana bammwe. Mufeeyo nnyo okumanya ensonga eziviirako ebizibu abaana bammwe bye bafeesinga.
Nga bw'omaliriza mukwano.
Kuba nze kyempiseemu nkiwulidde nga kizibu nnyo gye ndi. Era mmaliriza nga mbagamba mwekwase nnyo puroguramu ya Steppingstone. Kuba bambi batugereddewo munda yonna. Ne banna yonna gye muli mugezeeko okusabazaddira ebizibu by'obulamu bwammwe. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna mubeere bulungi.
Okay, tweyanziza nnyo Sarah Tendo. Abazadde baffe mutusonyiwe, omwana ono wagira n'abreakinga kati ebibuuzo bye mumubuuza katu engeri kuba kati ayogedde ndowooza n'abreakinga katusaba addeko wano eno tuulako eno ntebe endala oba waliwo ayina ekibuuzo ky'abuuza because remember kansooke muleka addemu adde mugundi ye kuba kati ndaba ali wansi akaaba naye nga abazadde baffe abatuwuliriza nga bwe mupostinga mu chat room ne ku namba yange mbadde nsaba mukole ki mubeere nga mutegeera those things are happening. You see, it was a male relative in the house. The one, in fact, yagaseeko nga bamwesiga nnyo naye n'atubuulira nti naffe tuli tubbizi ate tuli bakambwe nnyo. Awo ndabye nga agamba kandabaani wano gwe mba ngamba ndaba nga agamba Hajati Saada, agamba Hajati waliwo Mariam, waliwo Kizito wano, Ronald. So kakati byebyo. So mumanyi bulungi nti tubadde twogera ku kintu ekya sexual abuse. Era tubadde tusaba that just know that these things are happening. Right now, abazadde mu postinge ebibuuzo mu chat room tubeere nga tumaliriza programu yaffe in the next 5 minutes. Naye ng'ekikulu kya byonna kye ndabyemu, which can actually also be another discussion. Second chance to education is a whole program. 2 wrongs don't make 1 right, you know, meaning that omwana bw'aba yasobya, you can give a second chance to education, except kati tutandika nga twogera nabo bagamba nti sebwe muti tujja bawa second chance. No, but if things have happened wrongly, then we had better also tried to, you know, to help them, because You will regret, and this child will be a burden forever. Someone is asking that, but she answered, you were saying that, why didn't you report when uncle did all these things? Yeah. Why didn't, okay. I have 3 questions now. Let me start with one. Hello? Yes. Someone is asking, why didn't you tell your parents when uncle did? But she told you already that mom was very difficult. Then someone is, what is her experience as a young mother? I think, are you able to, from what I've known on her, is that she's going to tell us her experience about being a young mother. Okay, what have you experienced being a young mother, and what happened to uncle? Is uncle still there? Maybe you can just come here and answer those questions. That is enough. So what is your experience? Chichigwe katinga mama omuto. Omwana aliridda wa?
Essaawa zino omwana nze mulabirira naye nsanga obuzibu nti n'okumusitula okumuyonsa sikisobola, banyamba buyambi. Essaawa zino sisobola kubeera ne maama wange wabula ndi ne anti wange kuba mbeereddewo. Maama wange akyalina obusungu ku mutima kuba naye yeebuuza lwaki saamugamba, naye nali sisobola mugamba kubanga si ye yali omuzadde gw'osobola okufeesinga.
Okay. Anko oyo waddamu n'omuwulizaako wadde tetwandyagadde nnyo okumwogerako, naye ku lw'obulungi lwa puroguramu twakusabye nti n'ebimu tujja bikubuuza ate wadde bikuhaatinga, naye anko waddamu n'omulabako oyo anko wannaleero.
Ekiseera ekyo lwe byabeererawo nawulira nti anko bamutwala mu prison.
Okay.
Essaawa zino simanyi waayo.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nga bwe muwulidde essaawa zino tamanyi kikola ki kimukwatako. Waliwo abuuza. Okay. Advice to parents. Okay. I think we shall let her rest because I can see she's becoming very emotional. Someone abuuza, what is the advice to parents? I think more or less it is the way. Let's wind up by actually advising parents. Like we said when I called parents to action, that the right is now. It is not any other time. We have actually seen that the time we've been with our children, most likely we didn't also do our part to the maximum. We thought we were with these children, but it seems they were cleverer than us. So can we get knowledge and we become more clever, we become cleverer than them? But also, we should create that rapport. I mean, the children will not be your best friends, but they will be your friends, okay? And the friendship of children should be different from any other friendship. Your friendship will be in terms of mentors. At Steppingstone, we have mentor-mentee buddies. We have placed children, given some of these adolescents, we have given them their mentor. So they have a mentor-mentee relationship. Omwana omukwasa mwana munne gw'olowooza nti ono mwana ali better groomed, okay? Ne baba nga boogera nga bw'oba supportinga, bw'obuulira what to do, ne babeera nga bamala ne bavamu, because you don't want your child to just go anywhere. So dear parents, as we wind up, I think the questions have answered most of the questions. I would still request that you join our WhatsApp group, our Facebook page. We plan as Steppingstone that right now, what we are going to do is that we have schools that have invited us to go and talk to them, to talk to their children. But I want them, because I say I have teachers here. I have teachers on the platform. I see Simon. We do not come once, like you say, come and talk and go. No, because we have to create rapport with these children, we need about 5 visits in a school to make sure that we get ambassadors, Steppingstone ambassadors. We go through our curriculum, then we teach the club, we create clubs, and then we are able to have the continuity because we plan to do that during school time. But after school, when children get their holidays, we plan to have a Steppingstone camp again. Amidst COVID, we shall know what to do, but we shall have a COVID boot camp. We shall have I was looking at the questions. We shall have a Steppingstone boot camp again for maybe 3 days, where we shall take children through a curriculum of sexuality and health education based on their age group. Right now, I cannot mention when, but probably in December, when children break up. Remember, the COVID has sharpened the use of phones and all that. I have one question again. Do you visit homes to talk to children? The homes. Right now, we have been encouraging people to come to our Steppingstone Center. We hadn't really developed teams to go to the homes, but that is in our future plan, that we shall have people to go to the homes, but that is in plan. Right now, we want people to come to our center. We go to schools, like I mentioned. We already have schools that we are going to, and so that, you know, we go through this curriculum, providing age-appropriate information, but also where we have platforms, you can invite us. If you have parents, you have a parents meeting, we can come and give a talk, and we talk to the parents, so that, you know, we can introduce some of these approaches to our fellow parents. Like if you have a parents meeting, leavers party or whatever, I don't know, whatever you call it. But for the schools, we offer a comprehensive program. Someone is asking, how confidential are your sessions with our children? Nizo kubirako ate nawe no byasa. This question is important, but remember, as doctors, we are trained, we actually swear an oath of confidentiality. So whatever we discuss, my dear parents, remains very private. All my staff have signed a form of, have sworn an oath of confidentiality and privacy, where we do not disclose anything. Okay? Someone is asking whether we have recordings. Yes, when you join the Steppingstone platform, we have recordings. As I said, every week we handle different topics that affect health. Next week, we shall be talking about technology, and we shall link that technology to, to health. I think I'll stop on this question. There are 3, but let me see. Do you have books for your weekly videos? Today I am caught in between. We have developed ebooks, and but they are in their last stage of design, because we have ebooks and we are going to print the books. For example, for this particular session, we have prepared an ebook which we shall share with our Steppingstone platform members. So the parents that are going to be on the platform, we shall share the presentation and some of the key learnings and the calls to action and roles. Dear parents, I don't seem, someone is saying that, what do I have to be added on the school program? Please just call that WhatsApp number that was sent by my admin, 772-750-708. But we do it, of course, we timetable you, so it's not like when you call us, come tomorrow, we come, because it's a whole program. She says she's called Madame Nachitio. She's I'm a head of a school, and I feel my students need such talks. Please reach out to our number, then you can be booked for a tailored program. I don't know whether it's a primary or secondary school, but whatever the case, we do study, we come and study, and then we tailor the talks. Dear parents, enough has been said. The ball is back in your hands to take up the mantle. The mantle is before you, okay? As a parent, we should not stop the talking. 11-year-old is currently pregnant in Kasanda as a result of sexual abuse. So you can see these things are actually here. It is an 11-year-old. And let me tell you, for us, we are in Kampala here. Parents, you are in Kampala, you have gates, you have fences, okay? So I request parents that we are going to wind up in the next 5 minutes, but please post any questions. What have you learned? Okay? Just tell us in 5 minutes, what have you learned? I can see Hajara, Koira, Amina, you are on whatever. Jimmy, can you post for us what you have learned? Mariam in the UK, Prince, you are there. Naluwaga, I see Mariam. Nalubowa, you are on form. Chizito, I know you have a program. And Madam Saison, I guess you have learned a lot. And, so in the next 5 minutes, we should be able to wind up. But just as a last call, if you have any unanswered questions, and please provide us with your numbers, or just join that WhatsApp group on 772-750-708. So as I wind up, I pledge to you, my dear Steppingstone parents, that at Steppingstone, we believe that health should be a stepping stone to career achievement. As we tell children to get marks, to excel, I would like to tell children to be more sensitive than ever before about their bodies. This age, we were all in this age before. At the age of 13 to 19, 10, 9 years, the children are interested in whatever is concerning their bodies. So let us be knowledgeable by joining platforms, by joining we have so many WhatsApp groups, but I have decided this year that I only join groups that add value to me. And one of the groups that is going to add value is the Steppingstone platform that you need to join on 772-750-708. You join, we shall continue chatting. And those who will have joined, we shall share our ebook on this particular topic of sexual abuse. So, dear parents, further interaction, see, but I have learned. I'll shared my contacts. Okay, if you have shared your contacts on 772-750, we shall get them. Thank you very much. I thought that I should stop here, but I'm so grateful. Please share our platform to your parents. Please ensure and trust me with your children. I see parents that were in the former Steppingstone camp. Madam Alice, I remember, I see you had 3 children. Madam Florence, I'm in touch with your children, by the way. And I see you have actually requested me, you have 2 children. Otherwise, I wish you again a happy Women's Day. You remember the theme, as I mentioned, is concerning leadership in this COVID era. But I said we shall not achieve any leaders if we become unhealthy. So let us be healthy as parents. Let us be healthy as children. We believe at Steppingstone, as I close, that my health is a stepping stone to wealth. My health is a stepping stone to career, achievement. My health is a stepping stone to happiness. My health is a stepping stone to being a good child in a home. My health is a stepping stone to everything. If to be a good parent, a good the stepping stone, adolescent and young people health issues. Please reach me wherever you feel like. Thank you very much. God bless you. Hello, joined. Waliwo ono soko wandike nesimu. Okay, soko wandike nesimu. I can see parents are still on. Dear parents, the session has ended. It has ended. I see parents are still saying time wasn't enough. Really, I have spoken for the last almost 2 hours. So the session has ended. As I mentioned, please join us. And Sarah Tendo has said bye-bye. She will see you next time. And someone is still saying what? Come and read for me this. I am a bit tight. Sarah is excited. She didn't know we would talk about such things on a forum that has parents, and she's saying that we are happy that we have actually Sarah Muonge, Sarah Simwogerere. Okay, Sarah, you wanna speak? Okay, you can speak. Unmute yourself. Sarah Muonge. Sarah. Okay. Sarah, you are unmuted, I think. Sarah, are you there? Let's read Sison's, let's read that other post. I have learned that can you take a picture of this? I have learned that we as parents should get all the information that we need to support. Take a picture. That we need to support our children. We need to have discussions and support our children regarding matters of general health. Body awareness, self-esteem. Yes, I mentioned how our children's self-esteem was interfered with. I have joined Steppingstone and will be sharing this information with more parents. Collectively, we have to join efforts to support our children, adolescents, and yes, and you said boys and girls. And I said at Steppingstone, we believe that boys are equally vulnerable, okay? And these days, children do have internet at home, so information is free. Yes, it is all free, my dear. At that time wasn't enough. Hario, thank you, Dr. Hanifa. You are our hero for this Women's Day. Yes, please enjoy your Women's Day. Then someone says, thanks, doctor. Is there any other way information can be accessed? I joined late. Please join our WhatsApp platform, Esther. Join on 772-750-708. We shall share more, and you can actually call me personally, but please add me, my administrator, please add that person on the WhatsApp platform. Parents, it starts with us, as Doctor has stated. That is Sechito. It stated that in the beginning. Let's create time for our children. And you heard Sarah saying the parents were very busy. The parents were very busy, so they couldn't be an opportunity of probably telling her what to do. And the trusted is the one who did the worst. So, so please join to meet you, but otherwise you can join yourself. Someone is saying, thank you so much, Dr. Hanifa, and the Steppingstone team for organizing the insightful session. Very much appreciate. I have joined the WhatsApp group to get more information. I'll inform more parents about, we'll inform more parents about Steppingstone. This was a great Women's Day session. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, this was intended for us Women's Day, as we celebrate, as we sleep a bit, you know, enjoying Women's Day. It's an opportunity for us to be knowledgeable. And those that will be on the platform, we shall actually share. Musa, you have said shukran, jazilan. Thank you very much. I've noted that. And I think for now, I'm saying Happy Women's Day. Thank you. Happy Women's Day, everyone. And you will be joined, but you can also join yourself. Thank you very much. I should also now create time and talk to my teens. Please also create time. Thank you very much. For now, we have closed the session. Thank you.